It's been over 2 years since Russia launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022. Tens of thousands have died, millions have been displaced, and the world keeps asking the same question: when will the war end? Today, we're breaking down the possible endgame scenarios, what they look like, what could trigger them, and how close we really are to peace. As of 2025, the war has settled into a brutal, grinding stalemate, especially along the eastern and southern fronts. Neither side is achieving large-scale breakthroughs, but both continue to suffer heavy losses. Ukraine has received modern weapons, including long-range missiles, tanks, and even F-16 fighter jets. Russia, on the other hand, has adapted with sheer manpower, drone warfare, and deep defense lines. The result? A war of attrition, not motion. Scenario 1. A negotiated ceasefire. This doesn't mean peace, but a pause in fighting, like Korea in 1953. This could happen if Ukraine reclaims enough territory to feel secure, if Russia can no longer sustain losses, or if Western nations push for talks due to political pressure. But here's the problem. Both sides still believe they can win more. Ukraine wants full restoration of its territory. Russia refuses to surrender Crimea or the Donbass. So while a ceasefire is plausible in 2025 or 2026, it may not mean an actual end to the war. Scenario 2. A Ukrainian military victory. This would mean Ukraine liberates most or all of its occupied territory, and Russia is forced into retreat or collapse. With continued Western support, advanced technology, and a strong defense strategy, Ukraine could isolate Crimea, cut off Russian logistics, and wear down morale. But the cost? High casualties, billions in aid, years of fighting. Still, some analysts believe Ukraine could shift the war's momentum by late 2025, especially if Russia's internal stability weakens. Scenario 3. Russia escalates. While unlikely to win conventionally, Russia could mobilize even more troops, strike harder at infrastructure, or use threats of nuclear weapons to freeze the conflict. This could pressure Ukraine into negotiation, but at huge humanitarian cost. This is the nightmare scenario, dragging the war into 2027 or beyond, unless external powers step in more directly. So what's the most likely outcome? Many analysts believe the war won't end with a clear winner, but rather a long, painful transition. Ceasefire lines drawn, continued sanctions, a frozen conflict, similar to Korea or Transnistria. But Ukraine may win politically and economically, with EU integration, a rebuilt army, and a strong post-war identity. In that sense, Ukraine could emerge stronger, even if the war itself doesn't end in fireworks or surrender. The truth is, no one knows exactly when the war will end. But history shows us, wars don't just stop when the fighting ends. They stop when the world changes around them. Whether it's 2025, 2026, or later, one thing is certain: Ukraine's future will not be written by tanks alone, but by its people, its allies, and its resilience. Subscribe for more deep geopolitical insights, and let us know in the comments, when do you think the war will end?